Let's look at these series and see if we can apply the ratio or root test to determine absolute convergence. So this first one here, because of this 3 to the n, my thought is going to be using the ratio test. So let's set that up. And the ratio test says we take the limit as n goes to infinity of the absolute value of n plus 1, 3 to the n plus 1, over n plus 2 factorial, times the reciprocal of this. So n plus 1 factorial divided by n times 3 to the n, where we have some nice cancellations. This 3 to the n plus 1 and 3 to the n, we can get rid of the 3 to the n and 3 to the n, and so we have just 3 to the 1. This n plus 2 factorial, n plus 1 factorial, all the factorial cancels out and gets rid of this little part. So you have the n plus 2 as the only factor remaining. So we have this equal to the limit as n goes to infinity of the absolute value of n plus 1 times 3 over n plus 2 times n. Now, we can just see this is equal to the limit as n goes to infinity of, let's divide everything by n. We would have 3 plus 3 over n plus 2, which when we take this limit, you'll have a 0, you'll have 3 over infinity, which is just equal to 0. This is clearly always less than 1. Therefore, this series is going to converge absolutely. Awesome. Now this one, we have everything raised to the n. Now this one here, we have everything raised to the n. So the root test comes in mind, and we have the limit as n goes to infinity of the nth root of this function, absolute value, e to the n over 2 e to the n plus 1, all raised to the n. Well, these nth root and this n cancel, so we get the limit as n goes to infinity of the absolute value of e to the n over 2e to the n plus 1. We could use L'Hopital's rule over and over again, but we could just also divide everything by e to the n and say this is the limit as n goes to infinity of 1 over 2 plus 1 over e to the n. As n goes to infinity, this becomes 0. This value becomes 1/2. Therefore, by the root test, since this is less than 1, this will also converge absolutely. So this is an example of the ratio test. This is an example of the root test.